We will use PBR Painter's version 2.3.5 to finish texturing the branches, and bake Wrangler's Bake Node Editor in combination with GIMP to texture the leaves and twigs. Open Sugar Maple 11 .blend if it is not already open. Switch to the PBR Painter workspace and select the branches mesh. In the Properties window on the right, select Baking. Set the resolution to 2K and the margin to 6 pixels. Select Save Textures externally, and under Directory, choose a location. I'll create a folder named PBR Painter Branches Textures. Set the format to TGA. Under Channel Selection, select Manual. Select Base Color, Normal, and Roughness. Select Bake and OK. Open the folder where you saved the texture files. In GIMP, create a 2048 by 2048 black TGA file and a 2048 by 2048 white TGA file. Close GIMP. Import the files into the folder. Duplicate the black file and name one copy non-emissive and the other copy non-metallic. If you like, you can rename the white file No Ambient Occlusion. Open GIMP and drag in the non-metallic file, then the No Ambient Occlusion file, then the roughness file, and finally the non-emissive file. Select the Image menu, then Mode, then select Grayscale. Select the Color menu, then Components, then select Compose. Set the color model to RGBA. The red channel should contain the non-emissive file. The green channel should contain the roughness file. The blue channel should contain the No Ambient Occlusion file. And the alpha channel should contain the non-metallic file. You can drag the files around into place if they are misplaced. Select OK. Save the file. Select the File menu, then select Export As. Name your file Branches Parameter, all lowercase. Select the desktop as the location. Select Save File Type by extension. Select TGA and select Enter twice. Close GIMP. Place your branches parameters.tga file in your texture folder. Rename your base color file Branches Albedo. Rename your normal file Branches Normal. In the PBR workspace of your Sugar Maple 11.blend file, select Create Exportable Material. Select Bake and select OK. Switch to the Shading workspace and Object mode. Select the Branches exportable material and rename it branches.m.pbr metal. Import the Branches albedo.tga file into the top texture node. Import the Branches parameters.tga file into the middle image texture node. Change the color space to non-color. Import the Branches normal.tga file into the bottom image texture node. Change the color space to non-color. Now we have our branches meshes textured. Save your work. Save your Blender file as sugarmaple12.blend. Next, we will texture the spring leaves mesh. For this, we will use GIMP to create an image with a transparent background. Then import it into Wrangler's Bake Node editor. Open GIMP and import the spring leaves 2.jpg image. In the Layer menu, select Transparency. Then select Add Alpha Channel. Select the Fuzzy Selection tool and remove the white background. Keyboard shortcut left mouse button select and then Command plus the X key. Increase the threshold, say to 80, to eliminate the white edges. Save your image as springleaves2.tga. The Bake Node editor comes with Blender's Bake Wrangler add-on and is a Blender workspace. A description of the banknote editor can be found here. I've created a Blender file, banknote editor template, for which a link is provided in the description of this video. Download, unzip, and open the banknote editor template file. Hide the maple leaves mesh and switch to the layout workspace. Load the springleaves2.tga file as an images as planes. Keyboard shortcut, select the Add menu, select Images, then select Images as Planes, locate and load the image. Rotate the image on the x-axis 90 degrees. Move up on the z-axis and scale to fill the billboard plane. Switch to the Bake node workspace. In the Object node on the left, select Spring Leaves 2. In the Output Image Path node on the right, change the name from Leaves to Spring Leaves. Select Bake and OK. Three files will be saved to the banknote editor folder: Spring Leaves Diffuse, Spring Leaves Roughness, and Spring Leaves Normal. From these files, we again want to create transparencies. Open GIMP and import the Spring Leaves Diffuse file. In the Layers menu, select Transparency and select Add Alpha Channel. Select the Fuzzy Selection tool and remove the black background. Save your image as Spring Leaves albino.tga. Repeat the process for the Spring Leaves Normal file. Then repeat the process for the Spring Leaves Roughness file. Now reload the Roughness file into GIMP. Select the Paintbrush tool and paint the image black. Save the image as Spring Leaves Emissive.tga. Then save another copy as Spring Leaves Metallic.tga. Now reverse the color. Keyboard shortcut, select the Color menu, then select Invert. Save the image as Spring Leaves AO.tga. Repeat the process for the Leaf Group 1, Leaf Group 2, Leaf Group 1 Fall, Leaf Group 2 Fall, and the Twig Group. We can now create the parameters file. Open GIMP and drag in the metallic file, then the ambient occlusion file, then the roughness file, and finally the emissive file. Select the image menu, then Mode, then select Grayscale. Select the Color menu, then Components, then select Compose. Set the color model to RGBA. The red channel should contain the emissive file, the green channel should contain the roughness file, the blue channel should contain the ambient occlusion file, and the alpha channel should contain the metallic file. You can drag the files into place if they are misplaced. Select OK. Save the file and name your file springleavesparameter.tga, all lowercase. We now have the albedo, normal, and parameter files needed for Trainz. Repeat the process for leaf group 1, leaf group 2, leaf group 1 fall, leaf group 2 fall, and the twig group.